The less selfish people are, the happier their lives will be. You've heard this saying before. Honestly, in my world, the people who live really tired lives are the ones who live completely for others. I'm a very simple person. If I want to laugh, I laugh. If I want to cry, I cry. I laugh or cry to make myself comfortable. I don't care if the people around me are comfortable or not. What I say is not easy to understand, so remember to watch until the end to grasp it. Ancient education greets you and everyone. You are really selfish. Is this saying familiar? From childhood to adulthood, everyone around us teaches us not to be selfish. In our minds, we have planted a seed that selfishness is not good. It is a word with a negative meaning, causing many people to not live true to themselves throughout their lives. Many people do everything just for others to see. And many people live just to please others. For example, when someone smiles, they have to ask themselves if that smile makes others smile. Is that smile beautiful? Is that smile wrong? Please smile for yourself once. If not, one day that leave this world you will no longer have the chance. There is another saying, die for honor, live in pain is the image of the majority. People want honor is live for others, live in the eyes of others. Tell everyone an example. Once I went back to my hometown, there was a class, everyone ate a meal together. We chose a restaurant at that time. A classmate immediately took out his phone to call to make a reservation at the restaurant. The whole process of calling was as if he had a big business relationship with the restaurant owner at that time. Many classmates were attracted to him in their hearts, thinking that this classmate had a large relationship. Find a restaurant, know each other, really reputable. When we went to the restaurant, the whole restaurant was empty, only one table of us eating. You said, isn't that studying is useless work? Honestly, in my world, people like that live really tired, live completely for others. I am a very simple person, want to laugh then laugh, want to cry then cry. I laugh or cry both. Is to make myself comfortable. I no matter if the person is comfortable or not. The highest level of Buddhism says that Min Tam Kien Tin means the presence of one's own nature. For example, when you were from 1 to 3 years old, you were almost unpolluted by the surrounding environment. All your actions came from your own thoughts. That is the presence of one's own nature. You can remember a little bit how wonderful your 3 years old were. Not afraid of heaven, not afraid of earth. Feeling that this world is yours, you can do everything when you grow up. After going through the education after birth, you are no longer the same person you were before. You have become a robot doing whatever others do every day. Repeating because selfish nature has faded. Do you know why people are afraid of death? The reason people are reluctant to leave this world is because they still have regrets. If a person lives their whole life without any regrets, when they leave, it will definitely be with a peaceful mind. If there are still regrets, how can you let go? So people who live for others cannot be without regrets. Everyone, this life is like a train traveling alone in the corridor of life. Be a little selfish and live well for yourself once. When leaving, do not leave regrets, because human nature is selfish. You just need to express it a little more perfectly. Evolutionary theory about the rare nature of humans. Let me share a story. A poor single mother raising 2 children. One is 9 years old. One is 10 years old, the two children huddled in the house, waiting for the cold and hungry harvest, hugging each other to warm up. Their mother had gone out all day. They missed their mother very much and missed her even more. The food that their mother brought back, since the last time they ate was 2 days before that, when mother brought back 2 pears. The 2 brothers gave in to each other a few times. The 2 pears were passed back and forth between their 2 hands. In the end, the older brother ate the bigger one and the younger brother ate the smaller one. Their mother sat next to her with a smile on the corner of her mouth. She always taught the children to give in and help each other, and they children also obey. Even when they are very hungry, they do not fight over food unexpectedly. The older son gives the pear to his mother and says, "Mom, eat a piece too." The younger son also holds up the pear. The mother's eyes are wet. The mother says, "I love you, Mom. I'm not hungry. You guys just eat." The 2 children look at each other and continue eating. Eat with bigger pieces there. Mother turns away. Tears fall, remembering. Their mother also always keeps the best things for her, remembering all the things her mother has done for her. Outside, the cold wind blows, and now her mother returns. The child stares at the bread in her mother's hand and calls out, "Mom, this warm story be. Can you see the selfish nature of humans? Can you see the selfish nature of children when they see bread?" No matter how educated, human nature never changes. The next analysis may be very harsh, but that is the truth. Human selfishness has 2 types: material and spiritual selfishness. Material selfishness is people die for money, birds die for bait. And spiritual selfishness, you can often hear the saying, "You only care about your feelings." Have you ever thought about my feelings? Spiritual selfishness is enjoying your own inner joy. From the story above, we can see from the first minute seeing mother, the first thing the 2 brothers saw was food, because they were really hungry, and their concession was only due to their mother's education and social morality. Some people will say it is survival instinct. When hungry, you are right. That further proves human nature is selfish. People are born to be selfish, whether it is human nature or survival instinct to survive. We will naturally eliminate opponents. Some people will say the 2 children in the story also gave each other concessions, also gave loot to their mother to eat. If their nature is selfish, then through education has not also changed. Why wrong? The selfish nature of human beings cannot change. The change is just from low-level selfishness to higher-level selfishness. Through education, they have realized the value of tolerance and love. Their actions are just their inner emotional needs. Doing so makes them feel comfortable and happy. This comfort and happiness is the selfishness. They want to satisfy their inner self. No matter how much you think of others, it is all based on some of your own needs and purposes. It is just different levels of concealment. A person who helps others in addition to doing good for others is actually satisfying his own spiritual needs, is a good person. Do you remember this saying? Not helping people is the source of joy. That means when you help others, you will feel happy, and that joy is the selfishness you receive. Take an example. When you see a leader with great vision, that person is also very good, always thinking of others. Have you ever wondered why he is so good to others? He is kind to others because he wants these people to repay him later, right? You can say that there are people who do good deeds without leaving their names, without expecting anything in return. If you dare to say so, I want to ask you, how do you know about these people? For example, you help someone today, you do not expect anything in return from them. But when you help them, you feel very happy in your heart, and that joy is your selfishness, which is also the greatest reward for you. Many people think that the love of parents for their children is selfless. As a father of 2 children, I will talk about my feelings. My second daughter was born. We took care of her every day without expecting anything, but everyone in the family felt extremely happy. Note that we feel extremely happy, and that happiness is emotional selfishness. When we give everything to her, we love my daughter not because of her feelings, but because of our own feelings. Of course, the selfish love is beneficial to the children. This is not a doubt. Recently, I have experienced an event that has had a great impact on my life. I want to share so that everyone can learn together. My friend's son is sick, not a mild illness, but quite serious. My friend must have come to visit. When I came, my friend kept crying. My friend must have comforted her. I said, no one wants their child to be like that, but crying does not solve the problem. Crying too much also hurts your body. I believe that your child also does not want to see such a result. Some people believe in the good nature of people, some people believe in the bad nature, but I always believe in the selfish nature of people. When I saw this mother crying for her child, I felt that she did not have any selfish elements at all. I still doubted whether the theory of the selfish nature of people had any problems, and then that mother answered a sentence that startled me. If I said it out loud, it would definitely startle you too. She said, Lau, how I understand what you say, but when I cry I feel a little better. Everyone, please think about this saying. This is what she said herself. She said that when she cried she felt a little better. She cried to feel better. Still has a factor for herself. Human instinct will automatically help you selfishly love your children is true. Make yourself feel better is also true. Make yourself feel better. This saying, please think about when you understand this saying, you have the ability to control human nature very strongly. Of course, selfishness also has many different levels. Not just caring about yourself is selfish. Doing good for others, expecting future rewards is also selfish. I hope you can have selfishness at a higher level. Your kindness has been eaten by wolves. Why do I say this? Kindness can never satisfy human desires. The friend who devoted all his heart to them, but when you also encounter difficulties, just if one time of helping them does not meet their expectations, long's resentment will easily stick in their hearts. Sun Li, a Chinese actress, once supported an ungrateful person named Xiang Hai-ching for 4 years. She learned about the situation of a 10th grade boy in the mountains named Xiang Hai-ching through a program. The boy had no money to go to school, so she supported him. When Xiang Hai-ching went to university, he spent money carelessly and even skipped school to fall in love and neglected his studies. When Sun Li found out about his behavior, she stopped supporting him. But unexpectedly, Xiang Hai-ching turned around and wrote a long article to sue Sun Li for wanting to destroy her reputation. Sun Li was pushed into the center of the storm by public opinion. She never thought that the person she had helped with all her heart for many years would become an ungrateful person. Because of this, Sun Li felt scared and did not dare to easily support others anymore. Now she has switched to supporting those who the cat and the stray dog. The Chinese singer Mr. Fai, although only a level 18 singer, His CSAN did not scratch to help poor students. He participated in hundreds of performances. All the money he earned was used to support poor students. In total, he supported 183 students and donated more than 300 gifts. He and his family lived in a house of only 58 square meters. They lived in poverty. There were no valuables in the house. The clothes in the closet were all cheap. Only the white performance outfit was a bit valuable. In 2005, the singer Mr. Phi was diagnosed with stomach cancer, which required a large amount of money for treatment. But those who had high incomes, thanks to the help of Mr. Phi, chose to remain silent. What was even more infuriating was that during his illness, none of the people he had helped came to visit him. The only people who spoke up were the students who asked for living expenses. Mr. Phi replied that he had stomach cancer and was being treated in the hospital and was temporarily no money. Feedback from parents of students: even so, you will make money when you promise to support my child to study until university. Now my child only studies until middle school. You left. This is not a scam. Is this the real version of the story of the farmer and the snake eye? Helped you with all my heart, but in the end you bit me back. I only need one refusal when your kindness cannot meet their expectations. The first thing they think of is not sympathy and gratitude, but blame and scolding. Writer and William Makepeace said, if a person after receiving a great favor turns his back on the person who helped him to preserve his own face, he will certainly be more cruel than unrelated strangers. They need to prove the other person's guilt to explain their indifference and meaninglessness. The mean nature of humans often exceeds your imagination. You feed the dog for 3 days. The dog misses you for 3 years. You are good to others for 3 years. They forget you in 3 days. You give a beggar 10 dong every day. One day you only give 1 dong. They will curse you behind your back every day. Only give a beggar 1 cent. One day you suddenly give 10 dong. They will be extremely grateful. Want to thank all 8 generations of your ancestors. Human nature is usually 100 minus 1 equals 0 plus 0.1 equals 100. Understand. By understanding this formula, you will understand human nature. Helping others is a joy, but not everyone deserves to be helped. Saving people in trouble, but not saving poor people. People with poor souls will definitely betray your kindness. In the end, it will make you cold. Kindness is not wrong, but once you help the wrong person, it is a big mistake. Unlimited kindness will not receive gratitude, only revenge. This is the trap of people who are too kind. You are a good person. This is a saying that many people pursue all their lives. Today, this highest praise has become a merciless judgment towards the weak. When you are forced to wear the hat of a good person, you will have to bear the burden that you do not want. You have to become a reserve in love, become a peacemaker in friendship, become a snail wallet. Never has a chance to advance in work. You feel unfair. You say you will become evil from now on, but you speak harsh words with a timid heart. You dare not betray the values that you have built from childhood to adulthood. You don't even know how to become evil. You consider yourself a good person, but do not get the results you want. You want to become a bad person, but find out that everyone around you is disgusted with your attitude. You do not know where the problem lies from beginning to end. Many students ask me, I was bullied by others, worked hard, but did not earn money, was cheated by my husband and had to leave a penny in my pocket, and many other problems they ask me if I want a peaceful solution for the world. I want to say 1. The problem that occurs is due to many years of accumulation is not a method that can be solved. I think you should pay for the stupidity of the past. If stupidity does not need to be paid a method that can be solved, then it is not an insult to us who read a lot every day, typing tens of thousands of words. A person has lived in the sewer for 20 years. How to turn from bad smell to good smell is not a method that can be changed because the bad smell has penetrated to the bone marrow. To change requires 2 factors. The first is the perfume tank, that is to find the right thinking. The second is the time factor, the bad smell of 20 years. It takes at least 2 to 3 years to change. How useless must a person be to be praised by others for their morality, not to mention famous people with high morals often speaking realistically. You will be sad. Ba discovered a truth: often when we praise others for their morality, it shows that that person really has nothing to praise in other areas. Think carefully about the excellent friends around you. Is your first reaction, this person is handsome and beautiful, this person has high EQ, smart and cunning, this person is too smart? But if I suddenly mention a friend of yours who is not outstanding, you will definitely say like this: I feel that person is quite good. So don't fool yourself anymore. Don't think that other people say you have a good personality is something to be proud of when you don't have any strengths that other people can talk about you. They don't know how to praise you. They can only say you are a moral person. You need to think, do you want benefits or do you want fame? When you want to be a good person, you need to be mentally prepared. You can only get fame, not benefits, because good people need to keep their dignity, know how to regulate. When being a good person, you need to have a good image, but you need to understand that if you don't do it, someone else will do it. You need to keep your dignity. You are shy. There is always someone ready to approach the girl. Be you like at first sight. You are picky. Your ego is high and you can't lower yourself. Then there is always someone ready to talk with that girl all night long. You don't take the initiative. You don't dare to try. Next time, the man who goes with her will hold her hand. In career, many upright people will be robbed of the opportunity to advance by those who like to stand out. You must know that the opportunity is yours. I used to work in a company with an employee. He worked there for more than 10 years, always praised as a hard worker, is the company's moral example. The hateful thing is that others do not hesitate to climb up, while my colleague is still in the same position with the old salary. His greatest achievement is just receiving the reputation of a good person without any benefits. Successful people will always tell you that when working you need to be polite, know your place, know what to do, and know how to be humble. That's because only successful people write history, and they don't want you to be the next successful person. So don't be a lazy coward who is bullied by the rich into becoming a good person who doesn't dare to fight for what he deserves. Not worthy of being a good person does not mean you have to go around looting, killing, setting fires. Does not mean you have to do horrible, unreasonable things to prove that you are not a docile sheep who is brutally beaten. I want to tell you that the good person you have played in the past is not a good person in the literal sense, but just a word to refer to incompetent and cowardly people. True good people have principles, have limits, and are disciplined in real life. Some people live very miserable lives because they want to be good people. perfect in the eyes of others, always put the needs of others first, forget their own feelings, let themselves be pushed into difficult situations, also have to please others. Good people like that, we often call it people-pleasing addiction. These people have two misconceptions. The first misconception: I am good to others, they will be good to me. As long as I am good to them, they should also be good to me, otherwise it means I have not done good enough. These people, when they give in their hearts, expect reciprocation from others. Once this expectation is not met, they will think that they have not done enough and will set higher demands for themselves and of course expect more from others. When you give to someone, do not expect them to reciprocate. For example, I give someone a pear, I do not expect them to return one to me. For example, I appreciate a talent, give them 10 shares, I do not expect them to treat me well. I invest in their ability, will create value for the company far beyond the shares I gave them. If one day I am disappointed, I will not have any opinion, I just consider it a failed investment business. Always, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. Have expectations about human nature. This is important. Second misconception: only continuous giving can maintain a good relationship. Must admit that to maintain a good relationship, a certain level of tolerance and giving is necessary, but blindly and endlessly giving does not only not make your relationship with others better, but can also destroy that relationship. Why do I say that? When you give without expecting anything in return, you create a kind of emotional kidnapping of others and their chance to reciprocate. In any healthy relationship, there is no one who gives unrequitedly, so give others the chance to reciprocate your kindness at the right time or proactively ask them for help. This will make the relationship between you and them stronger.